Hello everyone, welcome back. Hope you are doing well. Today we are going to learn about POCV modeling in static timing analysis. Here is the overview of what I am going to walk you through today. A quick introduction to POCV and the definition of POCV, how POCV analysis is performed, the data types. So basically couple of different ways that we can feed POCV data into timing analysis tools. And we take a look at how delay calculation is performed using POCV with a simple timing report. We also take a look at how AOCV distance derates are used in POCV and also the guard banding. Finally, we will see how AOCV is compared with POCV. Alright. Let's get started. Why POCV? Process variation can be briefly categorized into chip to chip, which is also called die to die variation, and on chip variation. In the traditional static timing analysis, the chip to chip variation effect is captured by analyzing the design in different timing corners, while OCV is captured by applying early and late timing derate factors to timing path elements. As the feature size of the technology nodes keep decreasing, OCV has become more complicated. And applying a single derating factor has become too simplistic, and it can either cause too much pessimism on setup paths or bring potential risk on hold paths. So in order to overcome these problems, the advanced AOCV model was introduced to provide path depth and distance based derating factors to capture random and systematic on-die variations respectively. So basically the depth of the cell models the random variation component, while the distance, which is the location of the cell in the path bounding box, models the systematic variation of the cell. Okay, typically random on-die variation dominates the systematic variation, and therefore the path depth related OCV derate component tends to be the dominant one. But moving further down in the technology nodes below 40 nanometer, this method has also become inaccurate as it cannot further reduce pessimism. So to address the limitations of AOCV, POCV has been evolved. So what is POCV? POCV stands for Parametric on-chip variation. It is an enhanced variation methodology or AOCV. Basically in POCV, instead of applying a specific derating factor to an individual instance, it models delay as a function of a random variable which is specific to that instance. So let's take a look at the equation over here. So here cell delay is represented as the addition of the nominal delay and the delay variance times P. So basically here delay variance is the 1 sigma value of the cell's delay distribution, and P represents the standard normal random variable. The delay variation, which is the sigma for each cell, is obtained through Monte Carlo X5 simulations, and the value of sigma is a unique value which is specific to that particular library cell. Alright, we'll take a look at some of the terminologies used for POCV analysis in the upcoming slides. Talking about normal distribution curve, in general, data distribution for any entity can be spread out in different ways. In a normal distribution curve, as shown here, the data tends to be around a central value with no bias on the left or right. For POCV, it is assumed that the nominal delay value of a cell follows this curve, and the delay value of the cell is calculated after many experiments, and their mean is taken as the nominal delay. Moving on, let us see some details about how standard deviation is going to affect POCV calculations. So we just saw that in a normal distribution curve, the data tends to be denser in the center and less dense on the edges. In order to measure the variations from the mean, the metric named standard deviation, which is the sigma, is used. It basically measures how far any data value deviates from the mean. Okay. If the delay values of the cell deviate from the nominal value to the left or right by any amount, then that means more changes in the timing of that particular cell are expected. And this deviation of the delay from its expected value is modeled using sigma. So, the normal distribution curve typically follows these rules. About 68% of the area under this curve falls within 1 sigma of the mean. And about 95% falls within 2 sigma of the mean. And about 99.7% falls within 3 sigma of the mean. And we'll see later in the POCV timing reports this 3 sigma being used. Now let us talk about POCV analysis. POCV uses a nominal value for modeling random variations on the die instead of using min-max delay values for the timing arc. We know that with min-max analysis, there is a probability of actual delay falling anywhere between the min-max extremes. While in POCV, there are maximum chances of delay occurring near the nominal value, and there are very few chances of falling farther away from it. POCV calculates arrival and required times statistically instead of using min-max values. Hence, the results are less optimistic and more accurate. So, this is how POCV analysis uses nominal delay and variation for timing analysis. Okay, so basically the tool takes the value of sigma from the timing library or an external file containing POCV coefficient, which is C. Then each timing arc is calculated statistically as the total of the nominal delay and the variation. And finally, tool calculates the delay of the path by statistically combining these arc delays. Okay. So, and then checks whether the chip works at the desired frequency. By default, the timing tool performs POCV analysis at 3 sigma from the mean. But we can also specify the number of standard deviations to be used for the delay calculation. So remember, increasing the value of standard deviations actually tightens the timing requirement and making it more pessimistic. POCV data types. Basically, there are a couple of different ways to feed in the delay variation information to the tool in order to perform POCV analysis. The first method is using a single coefficient. So here an external file that contains the coefficients for delay variation is provided. It applies a single coefficient value for each library cell, a hierarchical cell, or a design. The coefficient is the value of the variation at 1 standard deviation from the nominal delay. Typically, Monte Carlo analysis is used to get the POCV coefficients. Here, there is only one value of C for each timing arc of the cell, irrespective of the input transition and the output load. Delay variation, which is sigma, is represented as the product of C and the nominal delay. Alright, let's take a quick look at the example of POCV coefficient file, and this is how it looks like. So we have the information on version, which is shown on the top of the file, and also the OCVM type, which is the POCVM. And this particular coefficient file is defined for a lip cell, which is the buffer cell. And we have two different coefficients, one for the early and one for the late. Okay, moving on, the second method to provide the delay variation information to the tool is using LVF, which is the short form of library variation format. LVF is an extension to the library format, which is .lib, that adds statistical variation information to timing measurements. Okay. POCV variation is directly provided in the library itself in this method. The variations are loaded in the design by loading the library. It contains the value of variation for multiple slew load combinations of the cell instead of just one value of C, which we have seen just now in the first method. The accuracy is actually improved with this particular method, especially at the design nodes below 60 nanometer. Similar to cell delay check, LVF supports POCV coefficients for transition and setup hold checks as well. Alright, let's take a look at an example of POCV LVF format for cell delay. This is how it looks like. Here we have a two-dimensional lookup table of 6 by 6 for both early and late. Here index 1 represents the input transition and index 2 denotes the output load. And this is an example for POCV LVF format for cell transition. Again, we have a two-dimensional lookup table of 6 by 6. Here, index 1 represents the input transition and index 2 represents the output load. Okay. Do note, if both types are present in the design, then by default, the file with POCV single coefficient has higher precedence than POCV slew load table in LVF format. Now let us see how delay calculation is performed with POCV. Basically, POCV works on a path by path basis. And here is the equation to find the delay of a cell, which is basically nominal delay plus or minus variation. The value of variation is added or subtracted from the nominal delay for max and min delay analysis respectively. Variation is again represented as the product of C and nominal delay times n, where C is the POCV coefficient and n is the number of standard deviations. Alright, now let us see some of the terms that we see in the timing report. Basically, it has two columns, incremental and path. Incremental column represents the delay calculation for that specific stage, whereas a path column basically represents the total delay of the path up to that stage. Okay. Sensitivity. So it is the value of variation due to POCV coefficient at 1 sigma corner, which is basically the product of mean and the coefficient. Mean is again, it's a nominal delay. Basically, it's a delay without POCV coefficient applied. And then we can calculate corner by using mean and sensitivity. Okay, so basically corner is the delay value after POCV calculation. Here n represents the number of standard deviations. Incremental value is calculated by subtracting the previous stage path value from the current stage path value. Mean for path column is calculated as the summation of all the means from different stages. Sensitivity for path column, which is the RSS value, root sum square. And finally, we can calculate path value by using this particular equation, which is path mean plus n times path sensitivity. Alright, let us use this example timing report to understand how delay calculation is performed using the equations that we discussed just now. And we are going to focus on this particular stage in the timing path for the calculations. Alright, let's first focus on incremental column using the same timing report. But as I just mentioned, we are going to focus on this stage in the timing path and see how the calculations are done. Mean, which is 0.102, is from here. sensitivity, which is a mean times POCV coefficient C. C is derived from the library. So we get a value of 0.008 for the sensitivity, which is this. And using mean and sensitivity, we can go calculate the value for corner. And if you recall, I have mentioned it earlier that timing tool is using the default 3 sigma method. That's why we see a value of 3 is being substituted for n. And you can also notice the same over here at the top of the timing report, saying it is using 3 sigma method. So we get a value of 0.126 for corner. And finally, we can calculate the value for incremental column using just the subtraction. So basically, we are subtracting previous stage value from the current stage value to get the final value for the incremental column, which is 0.113. Okay, moving on. Now we'll focus on how the calculations are performed for path column. Again, using the same timing report. So this time the mean is the summation of all these values, which will add up to 0.584. And sensitivity, which is the RSS value of the previous stage and the current stage. Okay, so this gives us the value of 0.010. And using mean and sensitivity, we can get the value of path using the same equation that we have seen earlier for incremental column, which gives us 0.614. Okay. So far, the delay calculation for the path, mean and sensitivity is done statistically. Sensitivity is calculated by using the RSS value. Okay. This basically reduces extra pessimism in the path as compared to simple addition of sensitive values. So by simple addition, if you add up these three values, it will add up to 0.017, which is way higher than this particular value that we have seen for the path using the statistical RSS method. So now we know that the extra pessimism is reduced in POCV. Why AOCV distance derates used in POCV? Basically, POCV models only random variations. In order to model systematic variations, we need to use distance-based AOCV derating along with the POCV. Distance derates are provided in a similar LVA format in library. But do note, POCV coefficient and distance derates are mutually exclusive. Typically, distance-based derates are generated from the silicon data measurements from the test chips. Let's take a look at how the AOCV table looks like. So this is the example of the AOCV table for the distance-based derates. And as you can see here, we have the version information and also the OCVM type, which is POCVM. And this particular table is applicable for the buffer cell. And we have distance-based derates for both early and late. All right. God banding in POCV. To model non-process related variations such as voltage and temperature, God banding is used. It applies to both nominal delay and sigma. Okay, when both derates, meaning distance-based and God band, are present, then the total derate will be the product of the two. Okay, so as you can see here, it is a product of POCV distance derate and the POCV God band. Moving on, let us see how AOCV compared to POCV. Random variation is modeled through depth-based derates in AOCV. However, in POCV, they are modeled through a coefficient which is specific to each cell type. Systematic variation is modeled through distance-based derates both in AOCV and POCV. If you look at the correlation between GBA and PBA, it is less accurate in AOCV. However, it is more accurate in POCV. And finally, transition variation and cell check variations are not supported in AOCV. But they are supported in LVA format in POCV. Alright, this brings me to the end of the presentation. Thanks for watching. I hope you find it useful. If you like the video, please subscribe for more videos. See you next time. Bye.